Kate, can we just start with why you wanted to work with Alan Rickman again, and what was it like this time, not just a co-star, but directing you as well?
Well, let me tell you how it all came about. I was sent the script really a long time ago. I mean, it's 2015 now, isn't it? I sort of tend to lose track. Having had another baby, half my brain is gone. It's 2015 now, and honestly, I think I probably read the script for the first time in 2010. It was that long ago, and I loved the writing. It's written by Alison Deegan, who's a wonderful Irish woman. And I just appreciated so much how cleverly she had sort of slipped this fictitious character, Sabine, who I play, into a factual world, and created this glorious, glorious love story. And I heard that Alan was thinking of directing it, and I just thought, God, that would really be something. And I also knew that it would be a challenge too, because he's a really exciting man. He's sort of slightly intimidating as a presence because he has that voice and obviously that incredible presence and extraordinary skill. But he's also a very lovely, warm person too. And we started talking about the possibility of doing the film together, and it just took a while for schedules to align and I think for the funding to come together as well. And there we found ourselves in 2013. Shooting in the freezing cold, wintry England, and had a tremendous time. It was great to work with him again.
When you were 19, were you quite intimidated or a little nervous of him?
Honestly, I remember when I was cast in Sense and Sensibility, I'd only done one film before then, which was Heavenly Creatures, directed by Peter Jackson. And, you know, I felt really at home when I was doing Heavenly Creatures towards the end of the shoot. You know, it was my first film, but I had learnt a lot, and those people became my family. And when I was sort of cast in Sense and Sensibility, I really couldn't believe that I had been cast. I mean, I couldn't believe that I was going to be joining that sort of, you know, stage of just incredibly accomplished actors. And even on the first day of shooting, I thought they are going to come and tell me that they actually read the name wrong off the list and that they didn't mean to cast me at all. But I was doing okay. You know, I met Emma Thompson, obviously I sort of knew her quite well by that point. Hugh Grant came along, yep, that was fine, could cope. Imelda Staunton, I could sort of cope with all of these people, not a problem. And then Alan walked into the hair and makeup trailer, and it was as though this sort of 21-foot giant had just appeared before me. And I remember feeling just like the tiniest little person in the world. And I think I sort of inside probably sort of went, please don't kill me. Because he has that extraordinary presence, he really does. And he sort of looked down at me and went, hello, you're playing Marianne, aren't you? And I thought, he hates me, he hates me. He's actually going to get me fired. He is, in fact, going to say she's just rubbish. I know she is, before she's even opened her mouth. So I was terrified of him at the very beginning, and of course, you know, came to relax and obviously get along very well with him and ultimately just totally adore him, and he's really a very spectacular person.
And what was it like to be working back in the UK and in a corset?
It was so great, honestly. I was really excited to be back in Britain, playing a British person in a British film, even though it's set in France, and to be back in period costume again, you know. I mean, it comes with its own set of challenges. I was pregnant, I was in a corset, it was a little bit uncomfortable at times, I have to say. But the corset luckily stopped. It stops here, it stops at the belly button, and in the early stages of pregnancy, everything's happening just below there, so don't worry, the baby wasn't squashed at any point, and he's 16 months old now and running around and very much not squashed. But it was lovely to be back in a period film and speaking in my own voice too. You know, I've played a lot of American roles, particularly in the last 10 years, and there was something, there's a very unique camaraderie that comes with being a part of a British film, especially one that is fairly low budget, that this one was, and working with those wonderful British actors, Stephen Waddington and Helen McCrory. You know, we had some great people there every day who were all such a laugh, you know, when it's bucketing down with rain and, you know, you're just scrounging around for a cup of tea and a biscuit and you're sitting in the sort of warming tent which is blowing down as you're all sitting in it. I mean, there's nothing, honestly, nothing like it. It's sort of almost filmmaking at its best when it feels that's very kind of sort of camping, hand-to-mouth existence, which it really was sometimes. It was great. It was, honestly, it was really a lot of fun.
Kate Winslet, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey